Hello, good evening. Welcome to my tip report presentation. I am a teacher at Uplift Education. Here are my table of contents. This presentation is for my teachers and my school administration for help me to use Edpuzzle in my classroom. We are a Title I school with more than 50% at-risk students, 62% economically disadvantaged student. And even though we are Title I, we know that majority of our students have access to technology. I know that they did not have access in the beginning of the year, but now they for sure do. However, their internet access is always in question for, during our live sessions. But I still think Edpuzzle would make a great impact in their learning. I would like to use Edpuzzle because it's immediate feedback. Immediately we can evaluate our students' understanding. It's self-paced, making sure that all my students who like to read fast, those who like to read slow, those who have a nice rhythm going when they're reading, are able to access the text at their own pace and, answer the questions when they are asked. And everybody gets a chance to answer these questions. Usually when we do read aloud in our classroom, I pick on a couple of students and I miss out on a couple of students and I don't really know if they understood it or grasped whatever we were talking about in class that day. So Edpuzzle would be able to give me those kind of information. I had to choose between Edpuzzle and Plickers. I would definitely choose Edpuzzles because it has video, it's interactive, whereas Plickers, it's where they take a paper and they move it in different directions to give an answer. I think if we're in person, Plickers would still work really great because, working with technology in the classroom before the pandemic was quite an issue. However, during the pandemic, after the pandemic, I'm sure our students are going to be great in their technology. And like I said, benefits of Edpuzzle have, read aloud comprehension, proof of engagement, feedback options, and instant data. So I went along and I gave a more detailed explanation of why each one of those works. And the research behind using Edpuzzle is that we know that 65% of students are visual learners. And we also know that students, if they are able to control their pace of presentation, they learn more. So if they're able to control how fast they're going, how slow they're going, they're able to retain their information for a longer time period. Along with the idea that if students are given information in more than one sensory pathway, then they can retain it in their long-term memory versus in their short-term memory. And when I say more than one sense, I mean their audio, there's visual, they're participating, there's kinesthetic going on. We're activating different parts of their brain during this Edpuzzle. So my plan is get my administration to approve it, get teachers trained on it, have scholars practice with it, and then use Edpuzzle for data-based decisions. And before we move on, is it worth the purchase? Will it impact everybody in this classroom? The answer is yes, it is definitely worth the purchase. And it'll be easy to navigate as well. When do we begin, right? I would suggest January because right now we're about to go to Thanksgiving break. So once we come back from Thanksgiving break, use Edpuzzle, make mistakes, make those videos. And then once we come back in January, STAR season might begin again. And this will definitely help us to ask specific questions, specific types of questions, and then get those answers. Again, I said, use it for read aloud, but teachers can use it wherever they feel that it is needed. And expected results, we get 100% participation. That's where we're struggling really right now, especially for virtual teachers. And this Edpuzzle will help make sure that we're getting that 100% participation and that immediate feedback to our students. So I made a wonderful Nearpod for our teachers to go and enjoy. Well, not enjoy, but kind of helps them take them through the Nearpod. It starts off with my name, and then Edpuzzle 101. Thank you for tuning in. This video is me going through my personal dashboard, showing them different places in Edpuzzle where other teachers in Uplift have used, what other video content we can add. We're not just limited to YouTube, but we have National Geographic, TED Talks, we have Khan Academy also participating in this. Then teachers have an opportunity to go do a free level 1 beginners course and get familiar with what's going on. And finally, there's a fancy video of how to use Edpuzzle. And at the very end, I get to use, give them time to go use Edpuzzle. I'm going to tell them to tell me about their favorite president and have one multiple choice question and one open-ended, and then link their video over here so other teachers can look at it. And again, we're open to mistakes. That's what our goal is right now, is making those mistakes, learning what we can do better. And finally, for me to understand, how do the teachers feel about this technology? If I'm pushing for it, am I only thinking about my 5th graders, or am I thinking about the school as a whole? Because it is a big investment and I don't want it to go in any different direction than what I'm hoping for it to go. And so this poll will ask them, I don't think this app will be useful in my classroom because I don't want to use text since I'm fine with my current practice. It's not about, changing. If it's working, why change it, right? Like, that's kind of the thing, but it's also about becoming efficient and more effective. I don't think this app will be useful because I don't think my students will be able to use it effectively. Kindergartners, that's always a big worry for me versus my 5th graders. And then I think the app will be useful once I get more practice. And then I think the app will be useful starting tomorrow. I think I'm more of the person with the D because, I would like to start using it tomorrow if given the permission. And, I have to make sure I submit my answer. Submitted before I move on. And there it is. And I can start again. And that is it for my presentation. I hope that we, use this chance to increase engagement amongst our students in all models of learning. Thank you for your time.